Welcome again to the S.E.M podcast. Zach Hewlett, Jack Bryce, back for another amazing episode. Today we're talking with our friend Zac Lovell. Zach, how are you, man?
I'm doing good. How about you guys?
So good. What part of the world you calling from tonight?
Calling from Salem, Utah, Payson area. So by Payson.
Very good.
You know what that is.
Been through Payson a few times. All right. Well, I know that you know the format of the podcast because we've talked a few times, but we'll remind everybody we're going to talk pre-mission, then we'll jump over, talk post-mission, then we'll go through the mission in its entirety. Zach, You're up, my friend.
So pre-mission, I grew up in the church. I grew up that like a mission would be a good thing to go on, but none of my siblings went on a mission, but I'm the only one in my family that went on a mission. I had cousins that went on a mission.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad was the order mission leader over the years, and I just got to know the missionaries, and I decided to go on a mission. And then getting my mission call, I thought I would get my mission call like pretty fast, but I was missing the paper, and I didn't know I was missing the paper till I got a call from a bishop one day, and was like, "Zach, you missing paper that you need to submit to the church office." And I was like, "What paper is it?" I don't even remember what paper it is, but it went missing. So I delayed my mission call by like a week. So.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You think they would have checked the paperwork before they sent it off? Huh?
Yep. and then my bishop would call me every day and be like, "Hey, has your mission call came? Has your mission call came yet?" And I was like, not yet. I've been working. So I came on April 11th, right after conference got done, 2008.
Okay, nice.
Did you leave from Utah? Are you from Utah?
I'm from Utah, yeah.
Okay,
nice.
Yeah. So I left in July 2008, went to the Preston, England MTC. But when I got my mission call, the postman he exited his mail cart, and I was walking up to my house, and I was like, he has my mission call. Looks like he has the big folder. So
that's awesome. What was your reaction when you learned you were going to Scotland?
I was like, wow, this is so cool. I love this history so much. It's rich history, and I love all the castles in Scotland, you know?
Yeah, for sure. All right, so July 2008, you entered, got home right when the mission changed in July 2010.
And
what have you been up to since then?
So I went to school, got married, have one boy here and another boy that was coming this summer. So I have two kids. And it's been working. Went to school, got done with school, went to ODS Business College, and then went to Utah State for a year and a half.
Nice.
And I was going to work my sports connections, but I was like, if I want to be close to my family and kids, I shouldn't work in the sports industry because you work a lot of hours and you don't see your family that much.
I can attest to that. That's true. Do you know what gender your little one is that's coming?
It's a boy. It's a boy.
That's awesome. Very cool.
Yep.
Awesome.
So what do you do for work?
So right now I work for the federal government. I work in admin, administrative part of the office, whatever they asked me to do.
Nice. Top secret stuff. You'd have to kill us if you told us.
Yep. Top secret.
Awesome.
I'm cleared.
That's true. Jack does have clearance. Just mute it, and I don't have to listen. I love it. Awesome. All right, Zach. I can't believe you didn't say anything about your fandom to BYU and the fact that you hate the school that I love.
I'm a big BYU fan. Zach's a big Utah fan. Me and him are opposite, but me and Zach served in a lot of the same areas.
Yeah, we'll get to that part for sure. Zach and I are like almost.
I had a month left before. Before I came home, that the Griffiths told me about Utah going to the Pac-12.
Hey, you get your redemption this year, you'll be just fine. It's only 13 years too late. I'm sorry. This is not the place for this banter. Goodness gracious. We're gonna have
to edit this out, man.
This is the banter, Jack. Come on, Jack. It's fun.
I was just gonna say Utah's gonna be knocking on the door.
If this wasn't a mini, I'd just put it on right now.
Just put it on.
That's the actual size all the players wear on the team.
Your brain is just so small.
We did go to 2 Rose Bowls though.
Those are pretty cool.
Those are cool helmets. I know exactly.
Sorry, my junk on my desk. All right, let's go to the mission now. Start
Okay, go to the mission.
Start July 2008. You can start the
So
MTC.
I got woke up by my dog before I left because my dog opened my door and woke me up. Got ready and went to Cracker Barrel with the family, and then flew from Salt Lake to Atlanta. But before that, we met probably there's probably like 30 missionaries that were going to the MTC in England that were with us.
Oh wow.
This is like in Atlanta. You met them, or in Salt Lake?
In Salt Lake before, yeah.
Wow,
Dang.
that's a lot.
And there's a couple that were returned missionaries that were coming home. They wanted to be in a group picture and stuff. So
That's awesome. Wow.
That's really cool. That's a big
that was
group.
cool. And then I had to know some of the elders that were in my group that were going to go to Scotland too. So that's kind of cool.
That's really cool.
So we had a couple of English elders that went with us. They went to Scotland. One of them, already has had on an episode before recently. David Kane, and then Greg Day will be on soon.
I think his podcast, as we're talking right now, published today.
Nice.
So get on it, Zach. That was a great conversation. We love talking to David.
Nice. And then, so I went to the MTC. And so from Atlanta, I saw someone that was related to me. That's not my blood relative, but it's my cousin's wife's cousin. He went to Ireland, so that's kind of crazy. He was in my MTC group.
Wow, small world.
Yep, small world. Anyway, so long story short, we went to the MTC. It was exhausted. I was so exhausted. I forget what they call it when you sleep lag or whatever it is. Jet lag, yeah, jet lag. That was so real. I was so tired.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
I had Christopher Patton that you guys know, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We do know. We call them patty cakes.
Patty cakes.
I hope he listens to this.
Yeah, come on the podcast, Patty Cakes.
Jeez.
You should have sent him a message. You should try to get him on. I bet he would respond to you.
We've been in touch with him. He said at the time, because this was back in the fall that I reached out, that he had a lot going on. So maybe I'll catch him like summertime. But life never stops at the MTC.
No.
It never stops. So we'll figure it out.
And then my MTC companion was my only companion that was outside of America. All my companions I served with were from Utah.
Really? Wow.
Oh, wow. That's too bad.
Actually, this is something that when we look, I'm looking at my list. Yeah. Actually, no, I had one from outside of California. Taking it back, or two.
But all Americans.
Yeah.
Who was your MTC companion?
His name was Peter Remington.
Okay.
And he was going to Scotland too.
No, he's not going to Scotland.
No?
He went to Leeds.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
I'm going to I didn't go to Leeds. I heard the Leeds is a knocking mission, chaplain mission.
I'm sure it is.
So was Scotland.
Yeah, until you guys got there.
Yeah, when you guys were there, you used to knock on doors.
Yep.
Didn't do much else.
Okay,
Anyway.
so I was in MTC for 3 weeks. The trip 3 weeks. I was going stir crazy because I was like, this building is so small, you can't do that much. And we got to go out teaching, knocking on doors, so that's fun.
Yeah, that last week in the MTC was a little bit too much. I was envious of those that cut out sports time and got to Scotland a little bit quicker. So I can understand that. You can't get stir crazy after a while.
Yep. So after the MTC, my first area that I went to was Grand Office, where I think you served too, Jack, right?
Yeah, that's where I ended. So
Sweet.
the closest we ever were right then.
Yep. Did you meet Tom Fife? Did you ever know Tom Fife?
Oh, yeah. play cribbage with him every week.
I did too. Every week.
That's pretty cool. You guys
Jack knows more about him than I do. I just know that we played cribbage with him every week.
I think it's pretty cool though, the fact that Jack ended his mission in 2006 and you started in 2008. That means that tradition continued for a 2-year gap between the two of you. That's pretty amazing.
No, they still continue. Hopefully it did. Because Tom was a good guy.
I don't know if you can.
I can see
get my phone right.
There you go.
Yeah. You can see it.
Jack, who was the bishop when he was in
Bishop Jack?
Bishop Jack.
I can remember that one.
I love it.
I keep in touch with Jack's pretty good people.
Was he still bishop when you were there?
It was Richard Scharf.
Okay, cool.
Who is your trainer, Zach?
His name was Waylon Grantham.
Oh yeah, I've heard Waylon's name.
He was, what's to say, like, we got along pretty good, I would say, but at the same time, like, we butted heads a little bit, and he wanted to monkey wrench numbers.
Okay.
He wanted us to look, our numbers look like a lot better than they were.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it was then Hammer Time. Hammer Time.
So Hammer Time lasted a year and a half. Is that right?
I think so. A little bit longer, yeah.
Or maybe a year, close to a year and a half, maybe.
Yeah.
Man, that's.
I think it's ended like right before the Fredricks went home.
Okay, that makes sense. Awesome.
So then after the anthem, so we had a 6:30 morning baptism in Kirkcaldy Ward.
We heard that story.
I told you that story. Who was the one I told you guys?
Who was it that told us that story? Maybe it might have been Dave Kane. Now I think about it.
I bet it was because I haven't heard it. So I bet it was him.
I'll have to listen back. But I did hear about that.
6:30 a.m.
Out of Bockham where there's only this. And President Fredrick got a call from the state president, Darrell Watson, and said, "Hey, I need this zone leader moved right away." So President Fredrick moved out of Van Moving away from Dundee.
Oh man, that's crazy.
It is crazy. So in Kirkcaldy Ward, I had like a couple of baptisms. So baptisms were happening, and then after that, I went to Aberdeen I was only in Kirkcaldy Ward for 3 months, and then I went to Aberdeen Ward for 7.5 months.
Okay, nice.
That's a long time.
It's a great ward. It's a great ward to be in that long.
That ward's the best ward, I think.
That ward is excellent. Were the pains still there at that point?
Yes, they were still there. Yes.
Okay.
So that reminded me of a story I want to tell you. So we were playing dodgeball, and I went to go grab a ball, and an English missionary, Christopher Watts, he threw it at my face, and you could still see the ball on my face when I went to the Faints for dinner Monday night. And President Payne is like, "Out of level, what happened to you?" And I was like, "Oh, nothing, it's fine." And then my companion, Artist Perry, was like, "Out of level got hit by Out of Watts by a dodgeball."
Oh my gosh. That's pretty funny. So you said your companion was who?
So I had a few companions in Aberdeen. So I had Elder Gardner, Stephen Gardner, and then Nathan Hawks. I was in the S.E.M. Because when I got to Aberdeen, the members didn't like the missionaries that much.
Okay.
And so we just sent Elder Hawks out teaching with the members, with a member that he knew would go out teaching with him.
Mm-hmm.
And we go about relationships. Me and Elder Gardner would about relationships with the members. So.
Okay.
So we taught someone from Chile, and we taught two sisters. One is named Taylor. She joined the church, and then she actually later served a mission. So that's cool.
That's really
cool. Where did she serve?
She served in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Not every Scottish member that serves a mission gets an opportunity to serve in the States. That's pretty unique.
It is pretty unique, yep. And then we taught a lady from, I don't remember what nationality she was. Her name was Fatima. And we taught a guy from Chile, I said, and then we taught a guy named Sorab. So, do you remember when Andrew Bonin was on and he's talked about like he was like ruffling the feathers a little bit too much with some of the ward mission leaders and bishops?
Yeah, I remember that.
That happened in Aberdeen, and found this guy named Sorab Kumar. I can show a picture of him. Let me find it. He got baptized. He only went to church one Sunday. He got baptized like after going to church one Sunday. Let's see.
One Sunday. I don't think that was in the rules.
Sorab Kumar. And this guy was golden. He loved learning about the gospel.
So how did you guys teach him like every day that week up until his baptism?
We taught him like 3 times a week. We taught him 3 times. So we had 3 times like scheduled, but then we did more because he wanted more. Every time he was like, "Elders, can you come back and teach me more?" And we was like, "Yeah."
Wow.
So I think we taught him all lessons.
I think you need to show the picture again while you're talking. I don't know if it recorded for people who are watching this on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, so tell us who's in the picture.
So right here is Nathan Hawks, Sorab, and then me.
Nice.
And then this is a picture of William Wallace statue in Aberdeen that you guys probably know. It's in Aberdeen.
Yep.
Oh man, I don't even remember where that statue is, Jack. That's not good.
I can picture it, but I picture Aberdeen the same everywhere. It's like gray granite everywhere. So
gray granite. And then here's this like a castle, Slings Castle in Aberdeen.
That we know where it's at. Yeah.
Up by Peterhead.
Peterhead.
Yeah, we had some fun times up there.
I love this picture. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, so here's Taylor when she got baptized.
Okay.
Zach, you know her great aunt and uncle, Doug S.E.M.
Okay, yeah. That's great.
Do you recognize that number? Charlie Sullivan.
It's who?
Charlie Sullivan.
I don't know. That doesn't ring a bell for some reason. I don't remember him. Zach, you got to remember, I'm old. I don't remember things as well as you.
You're not that old. Come on. Here's when Stevie got baptized. So this is me and Elder Sperry.
Nice.
So Taylor and Stevie got baptized like a few months apart.
I definitely recognize the picture in the background. That's in the foyer in the Aberdeen building.
Yep.
Awesome.
So I was in Aberdeen, like I said, 7.5 months. Had a lot of success.
So you had Stephen Gardner and Nathan Hawks together, and who do you have after that?
So the reason we was in the threesome is one of the elders, the church leaders named Elder Munden, had a heart issue, so they had to move out of Hawks to be with his companion.
Okay. Interesting.
And at the end of that moves, Elder Hawks came back with me, and they got a new district leader to come in, Elder Drew Allen.
Yeah. Okay.
So
we're talking to Drew a couple weeks, I think.
Nice. So after I got done serving with Elder Hawks left, and I got Elder Sperry for my last 3 months in the Aberdeen ward.
What's Elder Sperry's first name?
Jordan Sperry.
Jordan.
You should try to get him on the podcast too.
Okay. Awesome.
And then I had a few more baptisms in the area. Did you know Brother Gray? Alistair Gray?
Yeah, the name rings a bell. If I saw a picture of him, I'd know exactly who he is, but it's the top of my head. Goodness.
He's testing you, Zach.
He really is. Zach, I did not study for this test, I promise.
You should know these. You should know these areas. These are long areas for you too.
I told you, Zach, I'm old. I haven't been to Scotland since 2007. Like, my gosh.
Okay, anyways, we can keep going. So I got my preach my gospel. So after that, I went to Hamilton ward.
Hmm.
Jack, you know Hamilton, don't you?
Yeah, you did the reverse of me. I went from Hamilton to Aberdeen. But yes, I loved Hamilton. So much fun.
I was only in Hamilton for 6 weeks, and then they closed it.
Oh, you were there when they closed the chapel?
Not the chapel, but like this closed the missions.
Oh, okay. When they combined it with Motherwell, right?
Well, they came out of Mother like a few months after that, yeah.
Okay, all right, that makes sense. Who was your companion in Hamilton?
His name is Brian Tusher.
Okay, I've heard his name before.
Actually, I served with him twice. But...
Oh, really? Nice.
And then after that, we was only there for 6 weeks.
Hang on a second. Don't skip over Hamilton without. I was there for 6 weeks, and I know more names there than I think you do, Mr.
Okay.
Oh,
Mr. Lovell.
tables have turned.
Okay, let's see. Who do you know? What's the name?
Winifred Tarrant is one of my favorite people in the world. Did you go to her house for meals?
No, who was it?
Winifred Tarrant. She's not a member. She lived just a few doors down from where we lived. You guys may have moved, but she lived just off the high street. Really, really good person.
Nope, never heard of her.
Did you visit with John Ryan Park?
Yes, I did, yeah. He's tracking me down and giving me a nice watch before I came home.
My gosh, that guy's a legend. Because this is the thing that I learned from John that I thought was fascinating. I had never thought of before. So he used to be a jeweler, right? He used to work in a jewelry store. And he showed me how to preserve the battery of a traditional watch by pulling out the pin, right? And then you'd reset your time every morning. And I started doing that towards the end of my mission because he taught me that. And I was like, that's brilliant. Like it made my watches last so much longer because they weren't keeping time while I was asleep or when I wasn't wearing them. I thought it was brilliant. So John was one of my favorites. He was a hoot. That guy just made me laugh every time I was at his flat. So, and then did you spend time with the Wark family at all?
They were too busy when I was in Hamilton. They're too busy.
Too busy. That's rubbish.
Yeah, well, everyone said they're good people, but I didn't get to know them like you did.
I'm trying to think. So Ryan probably would have been home from his mission by the time you were there, right? Maybe. Yeah. And was Aaron still out on his mission?
I think Aaron still was out on his mission, yeah.
Okay. I mean, we ran around with those guys a lot, and then they went on their mission. So you probably didn't get to hang out with us much because our friends were gone. So yeah. And some other younger kids though that were.
Did you know Ryan? Ryan, what's his last name?
Ryan Wark?
No, he was a youth too.
I don't off the top of my head. Nope. But that ward was great. It was a lot of fun for the short period. I mean, I was only there 6 weeks as well. Crazy enough, like weird parallels that we're having.
It is. And we both love sports. You like the team up north, I like the team down south.
All right, Zach, where'd you go from Hamilton?
After Hamilton, I went to Inverness.
Okay. Been there. Didn't serve there, though. Loved Inverness, though.
I was in Inverness for a few days, and then I got moved out.
Seriously?
Well, because there's a couple missionaries that went home.
Okay.
When President Griffiths came into the mission and was like, you want to say something? Need help? Can you go do this? I was like, sure. So I went to Motherwell.
You went from Hamilton to Inverness for a few days and then back to Motherwell? Oh, yeah. My goodness. Man, you went from the Holy Land to Murderwell. Oh my goodness. Do you even count your companion that you had for a few days in Inverness?
Yeah, the companion got so Paul Burnett.
Okay.
And Stephen Warby. And then there's a couple of we taught that got baptized there too. So 2 people got baptized when I was up there in Inverness. I counted them.
In the few days you were there?
Yep.
Jeez. Just go up and slay a few baptisms and then go to Motherwell?
Yep. Motherwell, let's see. This is someone that got baptized, but she got baptized when I was still in Motherwell. So there's a few people in Motherwell that got baptized. And then, was it you, Zach, or you, Jack? I'm trying to remember. You guys like tapped on the door and you found someone that you feel like you're still friends with them, even if they didn't join the church.
I mean, I
We
had
all
plenty
had
of
that experience.
plenty of those people.
Well, you keep in touch with them to this day. Like you talk to them a little bit though.
Must be Zach.
I mean, Winifred is one of those people. She went around with the missionaries, and I think she's a Catholic. And I heard rumors that she taught Sunday school at the Catholic Church out of the
Gospel principles,
gospel
right?
doctrine manual. Yeah, a couple times, which is not a bad thing. I mean, she's teaching truth, which is fine. But yeah, we had plenty of people that really good friends with that never joined the church. Some of them I don't keep in touch with as well, but Winifred is definitely top of my list.
I had a similar experience with that with someone down the road. I'll tell about.
Nice.
I forgot to tell you guys this. So when the Hammer Time was around, like we had a call in every morning. Like we'd have to do like a one ring and hang up.
What is they knew?
Because yeah, what is it? What was that for? I don't understand.
To make sure that people were not sleeping in, when awake and stuff.
You had to call to make sure you were awake?
Yeah.
Oh my word.
One ring.
You'd have to do when you're leaving the flat.
When you left the flat too?
Yeah. If I remember it, yeah. Sometimes we did have to, yeah.
Jack, we were fortunate ones. My goodness.
You guys are lucky you didn't have to go.
Oh dear.
I called my leaders once a week.
It's true. You saw him at district meeting on Monday and you called them on Sunday night unless there was a problem. That's just mind-boggling to me. Zach, who is your companion in Motherwell?
So I had two companions. One was named Jonathan Gardner.
Okay.
He's from Tucson, Arizona. And then I had McKay Livingston. And you guys met McKay Livingston.
I think I know Jonathan. Because I think he was in my English class before he left on his mission.
Really?
My wife and I were in his English class. Yeah, we'll have to get him on and see if he can verify that. But because I remember I was super excited. He got his call to Scotland. I was like, I've been there, you know. But maybe.
Do you want his number?
Yeah, man.
Not on the podcast. Text it to us later. Don't put it on the screen.
No. Yeah, you can text it to Zach.
Yeah, I'll text Zach for you.
That's
Let me do
hilarious.
it before I forget, so then I can.
Oh man, Zach, you make me smile. I love it.
Yeah, have a good time, you know.
That's cool. Carry on though. Okay, he's from Tucson. Who was the other one? Sorry, cut you off.
His name was McKay Livingston. You guys met McKay Livingston when we had that meeting. We'll talk more about it in a little bit.
Oh yeah, okay.
And then I went to Dundee Bingham for 4 months, I think.
Who was your first companion in Dundee?
Kevin Anthony.
Nice.
Yep, Kevin Anthony. He's really good at music. We should have him on the podcast, but he's so busy, it's hard to get in touch with him.
Anything is possible. What was his musical talent? What would he play?
He's really good at singing. So is Art Hawks. Art Hawks is good at singing too.
Okay, nice.
Art Hawks would learn how to sing in Gaelic from some members. Aberdeen Ward.
Wow.
Do you know Samuel Yates?
Oh yes, I remember the Yates.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep.
So you had Kevin Anthony.
And then after that,
how was the Bingham Ward?
It was good.
It's a great ward. My goodness.
It is. And with the Grant that you guys had on the podcast recently,
yeah,
got to know him and his wife and his little family.
Mm-hmm.
His daughter was like 5 or something when I was in there.
His oldest was?
Yeah, 4 or 5 or something. Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. I mean, you heard the story. Rory was leaving like my second transfer of my mission. So,
yeah,
pretty darn cool to talk to someone who lives in Scotland, that served in Scotland with us. It was really fun.
That is fun. Did he? So he told me that story, but I don't remember all of the details. Like, but I thought it was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then what else? Oh, sorry, I'm all over the place tonight. So I had a companion. I had a teacher again, Brian teacher, before we went home.
Okay.
Did you guys go to a place called Buddies in Dundee?
Buddies. Not me.
I don't remember that.
I was only up there for breakfast when we go to McDonald's. So this place sounds better already.
This is down the street from the Dundee Flat and Company Road.
Was it a chip shop or what?
It was breakfast.
We've heard the stories of the donut shop in Dundee, but I don't know what Buddies is.
Maybe I'm giving you the wrong name. I don't remember what it's called. But it would have like breakfast sandwiches, and he would give us like.
They went out of business. Right. They went out of business because you stopped going, Zach.
I'm getting stoned from going there. Stone 2. I can't find it, so it's fine. But yeah, so I was there. Then I got a companion named Outer Trent Lamriel. He's from St. George. He was in the same MTC group as that one outer that did some crazy stuff out on the mission that Christopher Lewis was talking about.
Now I have to go back and listen to Chris Lewis. I don't remember what he said. Oh, goodness.
He was like sick, right?
Yeah.
Mental illness.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Jack.
Jack has a memory for everything.
Screw my head back on a little bit. Goodness. Yeah, that was quite the story. My goodness.
Okay, so after that, went to Kilmarnock my last 3 months of my mission.
And who you served with?
I served with another named Dale Brimhall. He was from Arizona too. And then I served with Elder Daniel Jones. Elder Brimhall and him didn't get along together that much because he's always talking about like, Elder, when you get home, you should do this. When you get home, you should do this. And I was like, I still have 3 months left of my mission.
You didn't get along with him. You're supposed to say, "You're right, I will." But now I'm here.
No. Yeah. We always just talking about going home, and I was like, "Stop." We'll figure things out later, But he only had he was probably out 9 months by the time I stood with him.
He was torturing himself.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. He was in that area for his first 9 months of his mission on the guard. One area for 9 months, I think.
Wow. You said Ayr and Kilmarnock for 9 months?
No, I'm saying Edinburgh Hall, he probably served in Kilmarnock for 9 months.
Oh, in Kilmarnock for 9 months. Wow. It's a long time.
So, taught a lady named Irene in Kilmarnock that got baptized. Oh, wait, sorry, I got to jump back to Dundee. So there's a lady. I asked her remembrance of what happened. She told me that I found that was amazing. Let's see. She sent me the story of how we when we met and stuff. Okay. She said,
"This is someone that you baptized in Dundee?"
No, someone they didn't get baptized. They were gonna get baptized, but they never did. Okay.
One of those forever friends.
Yeah, forever friends. Someone that you can pick up a conversation and it's easy. Okay. So she said, I was in bad phases of my life as I had not long split from my partner. You came knocking on my door with another, and at first I wasn't going to talk. You asked if we could come back another day, and she said, I'm not sure. And the next time we spoke for such a long time, then Liam said a prayer and arranged another meeting. Oh, that's right. I found out we couldn't teach you because you're not in my area of teaching people. But she came to church a few times, and then I found her on Facebook when I got home from my mission.
Oh. That's cool.
That is. Though, you have those moments, right, where you come across people that just need a friend. They need someone to lift them up during a dark time, and sometimes that's what we're there for. Representatives of the Savior.
Yep, that's what it's all about. And like, it doesn't matter how many people you baptize in your mission. It doesn't matter. It matters about you trying to be the best witness you can of Christ. I feel like,
Agreed. 100%.
Okay, so I had a few baptisms in Kilmarnock. A lady named Irene, she was awesome, and she would go out teaching with us. Where she lived is not that far from us, so it's kind of nice. It's not going to run back. Irene, we go out teaching. You want to come out with us today? And she's like, yeah, I'll come out for you, elders. So she'll come teaching with us.
Awesome.
And she was getting closer to try to get her recommend. So she could go through the temple, but she had brain aneurysm, and she died at 42.
Oh, man.
This is while you were there?
This is after I got home. She died.
Later. Okay. Goodness gracious.
Wow.
Yep. And so I've been trying to talk to her daughter, but it's kind of hard because her daughter doesn't understand a lot about the church. She does a little bit, but not much. So because we could try to do the temple work for her,
That's amazing.
And then, Daniel Jones had a stalker before I came home. My last 4 weeks of my mission.
You had a stalker?
Yep.
Oh, goodness. What kind of stalker?
The stalker wouldn't leave us alone. She would call us up all the time, or call us nonstop.
How did you meet this person? Just like GQing or talking to people on the street, or
member?
A member.
A member referral.
Jeez Louise.
Long story short, I know we have time, but basically, before the Brahma left, he had a number from this member, and this member was like, "Hey, elders, this person needs the gospel. We teach them the gospel." And our Brahma was like, "Yeah, we will." Elder Brahma got moved, and he didn't give me the contact details. And then Elder Jones' first Sunday at church was like, this member goes up to him and was like, "Hey, Elder, did you get in touch with that lady?" And Mike the man's like, Elder Jones was like, "Who are you talking about?" And so this is crazy because no one believed. We call her and she acts normal, and then my companion's talking to her for an hour and a half. And then Brother Joe, yeah.
On the phone?
Yeah, on the phone.
Yeah, dang.
That's called time for an e-move. Goodness.
Oh, and my companion at Burma was crazy though, by the way. He would eat plastic carrier bags. He would eat buddies on the bus, from Greg's. He found one on the bus and ate it.
Oh my goodness.
What? Oh, manna from heaven.
That reminds me of a story. You mind if I tell a story from Glen Rothis?
Yeah, tell it.
So there was this member. He was super gung-ho missionary work, had referrals for us all the time. But this one time, he's like, "All right, I've got this guy. He's golden. Come with me. We'll go out. I'll pick you up in my car or whatever." So he takes us to this guy's house. And so it's me, Elder Parmenter, and this member. And we go to this guy's house, and he opens the door, and it's super dark inside his house. So we go in. I don't feel we're very good about going in, even, because it's just weird in his house. But we go in because the member leads the way, goes into the living room, and there's crates and boxes and stuff for us to sit on. No real furniture in this house. And the guy starts we're like, "So how you doing?" It starts out really normal, but then we start getting into the lesson and the first vision story, and he's like, "Wait a minute, this has happened to me before." And he's like, "Do you see those shadows on the wall?" I'm like, "Oh man." He's like, wait, let me turn on this light. So he turns on like one light in the room. It's like a lamp, and it shines the shadows on the wall. He's like, "Do you see that?" I'm like, what is going on here? So we wrapped up the lesson and we got outside and we're like, "Where did you find this guy?" He's like, "Oh, he was panhandling outside Aldi." and gave me his contact information. And we're like, "Oh, okay. Yeah. Thanks for sharing the gospel with everybody you come in contact with, brother, but I don't think we're gonna come back to this guy." So that's what your story reminded me of. Member referrals don't always work out.
Jeez.
But remember before, like, lady, she was excommunicated from the church. That's the crazy thing.
Oh man.
No. She contacted the bishop, kicked her out of the church. Did you guys ever know Peter Cameron?
Uh-huh.
He's the bishop at the time in Kilmarnock when I was in Kilmarnock.
Interesting.
I was the last mission to go home from Kilmarnock, actually, for a long time. Give me a nice paisley tie.
That's great.
But yeah, so like Peter Cameron like kicked her out of church, and she turned off our phone. She called like O2 or whoever we had for mission phones, and turned off our cell phone. And so President Griffiths had to send us a new phone.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she's like, "I'm the church." She probably said, "Hello, this is so and so for the church," and she turned off her cell phone that way.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow.
Gee. Crazy stuff.
Yep. And then like she would like follow us like when we was out teaching with Irene. Wouldn't leave us alone. And Irene's daughter was like, her name is Demi. She's like, "Elaine, I know more about the church than you do, and I never got baptized before, and you got baptized before too. You should know more about the church than I do." It's kind of funny.
My goodness. Wow.
Okay, so that's all I have for tonight. Unless if you want to announce the new something.
Wait. Don't go jumping the gun on us, Mr. Zac. I want to ask a question. I want to know if you had any great memories or experiences with President Sister Fredrick or President Sister Griffith.
I had great memories of both. Both were great mission presidents.
Do you have any favorites you want to share with us?
I just remember President Griffiths and Sister Griffiths, they called me when we beat Oklahoma. 2009, they called me.
That's pure love right there.
It's very lovely.
I have a story about that game, but we don't have to go into it.
You can go into it. Tell me what's going to it.
No. It's not positive.
Oh, it's not positive. Okay.
What about President Sister Fredrick?
I just could just feel their love for each missionary. They got to know us, and some of the Griffiths, they got to know us really well too. I feel like,
Yeah. I mean, they treated us for the most part like their own children, right?
Yep.
They wanted us to be successful. They didn't want us to get horribly mangled. They just took care of us and loved us as if they were their own children, which is wonderful. Sure. All right, Zac, I'll let you have the floor for your announcement you'd like to share.
Coming soon, guys. We're going to start a Scotland, Ireland mission podcast.
So the essence of this is we're going to cut it off. I mean, we did have Chris Lewis came on the podcast. He's the youngest missionary we've interviewed on the podcast so far. And he had a 3-month bleed over, 3 or 4 months.
3 months, yeah.
Yeah, bleed over into the Scotland, Ireland mission, which is great. But the essence of what we're trying to portray is if you served your mission from, I think we wanted to cut it off January 2009, like that onward. If you served in the Scotland, Edinburgh Mission, and then it transitioned into Scotland, Ireland, we'd like you to join the Scotland, Ireland Mission podcast. as a way of sharing your mission experience, because you may talk to Jack and I, and we have no idea about anything in Ireland. We're the Scotland experts, so we'll let Zac and his mission companions and friends rule that era of the mission, which should be a lot of fun. I'm sure that you'll get a lot of pretty gung-ho missionaries who have come home way sooner than us that will be able to recollect better what they experienced on their mission, which will be fun.
And if there's people who have been on ours who want to go on yours, that's fine too. That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
The more the merrier, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So how can they get a hold of you if they want to be on your podcast, Zac?
They can email me at S.I.M podcast. So S.I.M podcast at 51spylaw.com.
Yep.
And just as easy. Yeah, go ahead, Jack.
The website's set up for both now. So if you go to 51spylaw.com, just scroll down. You can hit either one, fill out a questionnaire. It'll ask you which one you want to be a part of. So same contact information it's always been. But if you want the Scotland, Ireland mission specifically, it's S.I.M podcast. So looking forward to it.
Them in all my areas, guys. I forgot to mention that too.
What was that?
I said I had a lot of great areas on my mission.
Yes, you did. You served in, honestly, some of the best areas in the mission, in our opinion, Jack and I, right?
Unbiased opinion. Yeah.
I have a question for you about your 3 days or whatever you were in Inverness. Did you drink the water of Loch Ness?
I did not.
Then you won't live forever.
This is what
that's not the water of Loch Ness. Nice try.
I just have it on tap, you know.
You have it on tap. Just pump straight to your house.
I just have a pipeline coming all the way from Inverness.
Oh goodness. Great. All right, Zac. Well, this is an opportunity now for you. You've set the table with the S.I.M podcast that's coming up. Would you like to shout out or call out any missionaries that you'd like to have on the podcast, whether it's your own iteration or people that we still need to talk to on the S.E.M podcast?
Stephen Gardner.
Okay.
Nathan Hawks, Jordan Sperry, Paul Burnett. I think you have Paul Burnett scheduled, I think
you are correct. I'll have to verify that.
Stephen Morby and Jonathan Gardner. And then for the Scotland Ireland mission, Kevin Anthony, he was in Elder Lewis's group. And then Trent Lamwell, and then Dale Brimhall and Elder Daniel Jones. You guys have met Daniel Jones before.
That's right. Those are all good. So, what we need from you, Zac, is some memory referrals. And you all got to learn the trade of what Jack and I have become. We've added it to our resume, which is secret agents.
basically private investigators.
That's right. I mean, no one can hide from us. We have friends in low places. Thanks, Garth. You know, we've found information that may be secret to some that is public to us now. So we're super excited for this. We're not going to call it the sister podcast. We're going to call it the brother podcast. That is the S.I.M podcast coming up, and excited for you guys to get rolling. Do you have an anticipated date that you'll launch the podcast yet, or is that still in the works?
Probably sometime in July, maybe.
July?
Yep.
Okay. Well, then now is your time. Let's get your missionaries lined up and get some podcasts recorded, and then press play in July, and it'll be flying.
Okay.
It's awesome.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, Zac. We love you as our brother in Scotland. Thanks for coming on.
You're welcome. Thanks, guys.
All right. Cheerio.
See ya.
Yeah.